Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Hashem. We need to say that thousands and thousands of times a day. Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Hashem, with help from heaven. When we know that the source of blessing, our Father in heaven, is on top of everything we go through in life, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing to see the good things that you have in your life and to focus on them, to recognize the great qualities of the people who are around you, your loved ones, and to see the positive light and aspect of every single thing you do. It's not a simple thing that you grab an apple and you bite that apple. It's not a simple thing. It's part of something so big, so large, so gigantic, and so spiritual, and so holy, and so deep, and so powerful, and meaningful, and precious, that the Creator allowed you to find yourself in front of that apple and grabbing it in your hand and to say the blessing on it. Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Borei Peri Ha'etz. You're announcing the world that the Creator of the universe, He was the one who created that fruit. He was the one who brought down the light in that shape of a fruit, of an apple, with those amazing flavors, and holding inside of it the fibers and the vitamins and the proteins and the sugar and all the great pleasure and spiritual quality that it treasures inside of it, and it can heal, and it heals you from so many illnesses and weaknesses, and you're not even aware of. You don't know. Like you might get sick in a second, and suddenly you find yourself with an urge for an apple, a crazy desire for a green shiny apple, and you go and you grab that apple and you wash it and you just bite it, and you don't have a clue what's going on behind the scene. You don't have even like in your wildest dreams, you cannot imagine what the Creator is doing now with you, breaking those cells to pieces and sending the organisms and everything you need to the right place, and restarting your systems to work, and charging your batteries, and rushing sugar to the right places, and vitamins to the right places, and all the things, the fibers and cells that you need and are needed and required for your health. And like you continue like nothing happened. Yeah, it was nice, a great apple. You don't know anything, and that's only the physical aspect of what you go through with that apple, because spiritually it's much deeper than that, and you can never imagine what's going on when you attach yourself to do good on earth, because earth and the creation is only the coverings that are blocking the light, when all the real action is behind the curtains, where the light is at, where the soul is at, where the shine is at, where the godliness is at. And over there behind the scene, the things that are going on are wild and high and elevated and spiritual, and go to the heights, and just revealing the endless goodness and the loving kindness of the Creator in forms and ways that cannot be described by humans. People with flesh and bones that are stuck in physicality cannot understand and grasp the greatness of the development and the growth and the spirituality that takes place while we speak, while we eat. Because you, inside of you, there is a flaming torch of godliness, the godly soul that lives inside of you, and it's God Himself in a form. It's God Himself in a vehicle. You're a holy chariot of godliness, and that godliness now met and mate with something that is so special that no one can understand, because that apple is not that green apple that you chose and bite. That apple is the 7 billion apple in number that came out to the world, and every one of the apples that ever came out and ever found their way out from branches of apple trees in all the gardens, in all the fields, are part of that thing, that creation that is called apples and apple trees and apple fields. And that apple started its journey with the holy sparks of spirit that treasured inside that apple in the Garden of Eden, when the Creator created heaven and earth and planted trees. And he chose to plant also an apple tree over there. And there were maybe 10 or 20 or 30 trees, or maybe 300 or maybe 3,000 trees over there. And when the man and Eve been exiled from the Garden of Eden, the Creator decided with his loving kindness and compassion to send those trees to help them along the way and to remind them of that old and ancient hope that they will one day come back to the Garden of Eden. And you can feel and taste the flavor of that heavenly garden in the sweetness of the fruits while you bite that apple 6,000 years and more from that time. And you don't see the connection. You found that apple, you had that desire. But when the sparks of that apple are getting into your spiritual structure, and those sparks that started their journey in the Garden of Eden, finding their way back into your spiritual structure that also started its journey as Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, that reunion of sparks is a heavenly spark. It's a heavenly reunion. And it's a completion of so many high and elevated pieces of the puzzle that you don't see. And it's inside every thread of every fabric, and it's in every fiber of every furniture, and it's in every hair, and it's in every particle of air that you breathe. It's in every color that your eyes are swallowing, and every smell that your nose is smelling, every sound that your ears are listening and hearing. Every crumb and piece of information is completing the connection between the Creator to His creation. And you are the finest and most elevated part as a human being. And you are that blender, that mixer that brings all those sparks to be one and to uplift, to rise back to heaven like a beam of light, a huge light that is rising back and tears the sky to pieces and bring back those ancient memories from earliest days, and even from days that came from before of time, from before creation, when we as souls were swimming in the sea of souls, in infinity itself, in eternity itself, when we were totally, completely one with God, before the separation, before the breaking of the vessels, before the sky sheet been flattened and cut the sky and the soul, the holy divine water, to half, and shrinked us into a physical body, trapped as souls in physicality, but still maintaining the godly light, as souls, as messengers, as soldiers. You don't know who you are. I'm here to remind you of your greatness. But the completion will take place by Mashiach Tzidkenu. Because the verse is saying, the song is saying, Gdulatenu v'tifartenu yegale Mashiach Tzidkenu. Our greatness and our glory, the Messiah will reveal. He will reveal our true potential, our real grace, the one that you cannot see when you look at yourself in your physical mirror, in your physical reflection. Oh, but my hair, oh, but my brows, oh, but my eyes, oh, but I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I woke up late this morning. You don't know where have you been. Do you know where have you been at night? Do you know where you were when your soul went back up to heaven? Do you remember what happens with your soul every night in heaven? Do you know? No, you don't have no recollection of that memory. You know why? Because you're stuck in a physical body that is not allowing you to access the ancient archives of your soul. But every night when you go to sleep, your soul is going back to heaven, and it meets the Creator and see all the righteous ones and all your ancestors, and it's dipping in the holiest water over there and purified itself and coming back to life tomorrow morning. And when you wake up back to life, you're a new creation, and you don't remember anything of that experience. You don't have a clue where you have been and who you spoke with and that you gave answers, and that you've been investigated and interrogated, and that you've been asked for, and that you've been begged for, and that now you went on another mission with another job, with another purpose, and you don't know that, and suddenly you meet another person in the grocery store and you talk with him, and you don't know that they prepared you for that session and meeting yesterday night in your dreams when your soul was over there in heaven, and one of that person's ancestors came to you and begged to you, listen, I'm begging, my child, my son, he's over there and he's all alone and he doesn't have no friends and no one is helping him and he's stuck and he's in pain and he's in struggle, and please, I beg you to help him. And suddenly you walk into the grocery store and here he's standing in front of you, and you ask yourself, do I know that guy from somewhere? And you can't put your finger on it and you're not sure what's going on, but your soul remembers. And then you go and you start chatting with him and talking, or that he's just going to bump into you and going to, oh, I'm sorry, how are you? Yes, and you're going to start talking and chatting. And that's what is all about. It's all about. It's about faith, and faith is in the nights, is that you will believe with all your power, with all your energy, with all your sources, with all your might, with all your power and wisdom and energy, to throw it all into that holy basket of emunah, of faith, and to believe that it's all designed and supervised by God. That there is a perfect supervision on every book that you read, on every letter, that it came to you in the right minute, in the right moment, in the right timing to bring you to your completion, under the holy, grace, full of glory hand of the Creator that designs and creates the world as we speak. And we are blind to see, and we're deaf to hear, and we're mute to speak, and we don't know what to say. We're ignorant to understand and to grasp the greatness of this spiritual zone that we are at. We're disconnected because we're attached to physicality. Oh, is that soup that I smell? Oh, that is a watermelon. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, whoa, we're so far. Oh, that suit. I love those boots. I'm going to buy that bike. I want that house and no swimming pool and yes, swimming pool. You are stuck in a world of illusions, but your soul is free. And when you want to set yourself free, you need to attach yourself to your soul. You need to attach yourself to your inner voice, because this world is the world of illusion. It's the world of lie. It's distracting your thoughts to think. And even if you think about books and you think about Torah and you think about Tefillah, all particles of physical creations holding the bitterness of the tree of knowledge, good and bad, in it. Even if you try to learn Torah, there is a negative side to that learning, like that it's written, Zacha naset lo sam chaim, lo zacha naset lo sam mavet. And the translation is, if a person fixed himself, purified himself, the Torah will become a potion of life for him. But if he did not correct himself enough, did not purify himself enough, it will become a lethal poison for him. And you can see that. People who are learning Torah and become crazy, people that are learning wisdom and losing their minds, they become violent, they become angry, they become selfish, they become self-centered and crazy and lost and paranoid and terrified and wild and rebuking everyone and judging everyone and bringing hatred and separation between souls and people, instead of creating quiet and relaxing and inspiring zone for people to love the Torah and to want to come closer to it, to increase the level of joy and pleasure and satisfaction from learning, to invite people and to offer it to everyone who wants, and to allow people to join and to offer the greatness of the Torah to everyone, and to hug and to embrace and to accept and to reveal the treasures that are already treasured inside of us. Betoch ami anochi yoshavet. Inside my people I live, the Creator said. My people is not only the Jewish people, it's not only the Hasidish, or only the Ashkenazim, or the Sfaradim, or the Moroccaim, or the Yemenites, it's not in a section. It's not only in the tribe of Yehuda. What with the tribe of Ephraim? What with the tribe of Menashe? What with the tribe of of Asher, of Gad, of Naphtali, of Zvulun, of Issachar. What with all those holy guys? What with the children of Moses? Where are they? They're blend between the nations. Thousands and thousands, millions and millions of people that you're going to consider as non-Jews, as Noahides, as Ger Toshav, as Ger my shoes. Nonsense, you're talking nonsense. Listen, you're blind. You're blind to recognize your siblings. You don't see your siblings. You don't see it's your sister crying outside of your door. You don't see it's your brother. He's knocking. He's calling you. Hey, brother, do you recognize me? It's your lost brother. And you look at him. Oh no, look at him. He has a Spanish accent. Oh no, again those Arabs are knocking on our doors. Oh no, it's Christians. Oh, those missionaries. They're screaming to you, brother, can you please recognize me? I'm your brother. They're calling you. We fell into the trap of the evil inclination. We've been exiled for thousands of years. Christianity kidnapped us. Islam kidnapped us. Different foreign nations kidnapped us. We fell into that trap. We didn't know what's the right way. We didn't have the proper guidings. We didn't have the proper leadership. We didn't find ourselves. We lost ourselves. There was so much fire. There was so much heat. The poverty and the plagues and the hunger and persecutions and all the death and plagues all around us and the darkness that demolished it all. And I lost my children and I lost my family and I lost my wife and I lost my house and we lost our community. And in that fire and in that plague and in that destruction and when the river hits and when the clouds rain and when the fire went out, you're talking about the history of 3,000 years and you're allowing yourself to be so crazy to judge people for their accent, for the color of their skin? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Are you sick in your mind? You lost it? You are the lost child, not them. They're asking for the truth and you're lost in your laziness. You're lost in your selfishness. In your arrogance. Oh no, me, I am a Chassid. Oh, you don't know, I finished the Shas, I learned Mishnayot, I'm learning Gemara. Oh me, no, you don't know, I am from such an important family. My great-grandfather, he was the... you're crazy. You are like us. Come down from your fantasy, wake up, smell the reality. Your children are off the derech, they're off the way, they don't know anything. Your wife, she doesn't love you, she doesn't like you, she can't stand you. Your friends, they betrayed you, no one cares about you. You don't have a brain in your mind. You're lost in your own lusts and desires, terrified with your own fears. You're in the worst darkness, worst exile ever. You're judging people for their accent. You're going to categorize people because of their identity that you imagine to know, that you think you know something. You don't know anything. You don't have a clue. You don't know the number of your own shoes. You don't know how to make shoppings. You don't know how to wash dishes. You don't know how to prepare lunch. You don't know what you need to eat. Your stomach aches. You don't know what to do with yourself. You get into the toilet. You don't know how to find your way out. Who are you to think that you're more important than someone else? I tell you, hundreds of millions of people are your siblings. Wake up to reality. The lost tribes, our siblings, our sisters and brothers, our holiest part, the larger part of our nation. 10 tribes out of 12 tribes. The majority of the children of Jacob and his wives. The majority of the descendants of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob are out there in the exile. And you're busy. Oh no, when they going to open the mikveh again? Go to the ocean. I want to see you swim with the sharks. I want to see you go and dip in the ponds in front of your house, your fancy villa. Wake up to reality. Wake up to the real reality of life, where the Creator stands. The Creator never forgot one of His children. He will never leave one of us behind. He will never be judgmental for the color of our face or the voice of our accent or our vocabulary or our wisdom or how much talent we have or how many years of education we learned. The Creator, He's the Father of mercy. And if you don't have mercy in your heart, you are disconnected from your Father. Not the other kids, not the children who desires the Creator with all their might, with all their power, with all their heart. People from Brazil, people from Africa, people from Russia, people from Iran are calling me over the phone. I love you, I love your people, you are my mentor, you are my rabbi, you're my teacher, you're my master. I want to follow you, I want to be part of you. I desire, I dream of the Holy Land, I dream of Zion, I want to be part of your people. We are lost, not they. They're not lost. They know exactly what they want. Who is a lost person? A lost person is a person who doesn't know the way. You lost your way. They know exactly what the way is. The way is to be straight and honest, to be truthful and loyal, to go and save and redeem your brothers. This is exactly what Yehuda, the head of the tribes, that you claim to be Jewish. Now let's see what you're made of. If you're made of the tribe of Yehuda, if that lion cub of Yehuda lives inside of you and roars, that he asked and cried, how I'm going to come back to see my father and the child is not with me. How I'm going to see the face of my father Yaakov when his child is not with me, and I guaranteed to him, I promised to him that I'm going to bring him back. How you call yourself Yehudi, from the tribe of Yehuda, if you're not going and collecting your siblings from between the nations, from between the wolves? And I'll tell you, hundreds of millions of people are your siblings out there. You know, the Nazis, they killed people that were not even considered Jewish. Even people that were children of a Jewish father but not a Jewish mother was executed in Auschwitz and was burnt in the stoves over there. And not only him, also third generation from a non-Jewish mother but from a Jewish father. 3 generations were killed for their Judaism, and they're not Jewish. Why they've been killed so? Explain to me why they've been killed. Why the even inclination, why the angel of death decided to kill those people. Why? Why, if they're not Jewish? You want to say that Amalek, that Hitler wanted to kill the Jews, right? Because of their holiness and importance, right? The war of darkness against light. Why the dark side went for those people? They're not part of your illumination, right? You're wrong. You're in darkness. You are in darkness. The souls of the converts are higher than the souls of the Jewish people. The souls of the converts, the Creator is calling them in ways of affection and love in a higher and more elevated way than on the Jewish people, on the Israeli people. For the Israeli people, the Creator said that He loves us in 5 forms. In 5 places, the Creator revealed His love through the Bible, in the Bible, on us, to tell us, I love you. But on the converts, He said all those 5 times and added the 6th one. And they are the completion. And they're the jewelry, and they're the pearls and the crowns. They're the holiest stones, the most precious ones. And we're mentioning it in all our prayers and in Birkat Hamazon. And in every step of the way, we must remind ourselves to love the ger, to love the converts, and to accept them and to appreciate them. For why? For what reason? Because you were also over there, gerim, in the land of Egypt. And you should remember that you came out of Abraham, that he was a convert. And if you don't remember where your father came from, start asking yourself if he's your father. Wake up and remind yourself what the right way is, and what your real life mission is, and what really you need to do with your life. You want to say something? Come say Shalom Aleichem. Let them see your smiley face. Let them see your smiley face. Also here. Smile. We're here to smile. Yeshar koach. Be strong. Hashem is with us.
יעצור אותי מלהגיע